Good morning, everybody. Welcome to BlueSync today. Happy Thursday. It's been a weird week. Happy Thursday. Today's kind of a fun one because it's one of those things where I kind of feel like we're all in this together because Facebook will often, I'm sure if you've been on Facebook longer than 6 months, we all know that they like to change their platform a little bit, change the way their layout is, their design. And sometimes it's minor little things like, adding more reactions. So instead of just liking something, you can now, heart and cry and anger and sad and all that good stuff. But sometimes it's a complete redesign. And they have started rolling out a complete redesign. Some of us have access to it. Some people don't yet. You get a little notification when it happens. But so I just wanted to kind of show you guys what that redesign looks like. And then how you can actually, for now, switch back and forth between the two. Normally, they eventually kind of remove that option, but they do let us sort of ease into it. And part of this is just kind of showing you what it looks like. It's nothing too crazy, but there are a couple minor changes to business pages that I just wanted to show us so that we're familiar where everything is and kind of go from there. So let me share my screen real quick. So, this is Facebook as we know it and love or hate it currently. And basically, like I said, if you haven't gotten the option yet, you will get an option in the near future that says, do you want to switch to the new Facebook design? And you can click yes, you can click no, and it will switch or not switch. But if you ever change your mind or want to go back or see what the new one is, if on the main page, and again, this is more of a desktop thing, the mobile app is staying the same for now. But if you go up here along this top menu and you click this very last little option, this little downward facing triangle, and go to right above logout, it says switch to new Facebook. That's what we're going to click on. So I'm going to switch to new Facebook and we're going to see what that looks like. That's a big picture of former Governor Snyder there. This is generally, let me kind of move my window a little bit smaller. This is generally what it looks like. If you're familiar with Facebook in general, you might see that this looks a lot like the mobile app. It's got the column down the middle of the timeline here. It's got a couple sidebars, just like the old one used to look. But you've seen they've kind of really, I guess, squished together some of the stuff in the middle. One thing I've noticed personally that I already don't like about it is that there is all of this empty space on either sides of the news feed. So I personally, when I use the new one, I like to kind of minimize my window so that it looks more natural. The one thing I'm going to make sure that we know is that this is something that is constantly changing. Facebook has actually made changes like this before, got enough negative feedback where they haven't rolled it out to everybody. So there's a chance that they go, we're not going to do this anymore. But this is generally what it looks like. Really everything is in the same spot. So you've got your contacts over here. You've got your shortcuts over here on the left. Your profile, you can access your profile and friends and manager from the side over here from the left now. We had B-dubs last night, so that's probably why they're putting an ad in front of me right now. You can see all like the main stuff over on the left. The biggest difference, like I said, in terms of making it feel more like the mobile app is this top bar. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on my screen. Oh, I don't have the Facebook app on my phone right now. This bar right here, home, watch, marketplace, groups, this is the same bar that appears on the bottom of your screen on your phone. So they are really trying to make the desktop version look a lot like the mobile version. So that's essentially what's going on here. I do want to go over to my business page, and I think if I just refresh it, it's going to show me what my business page looks like. Right, here we go. So again, this is a test business page. There's nothing really of value here. You can see the business page changes a little bit. So this is going to be both for the consumer and for us as people who kind of run the business pages. Now,
Exactly.
I can't help you if I don't know.
you guys make sure, I'm going to mute Julie for a second. One thing I will tell you is that even if you...
Dee,
yeah?
sorry, real quick. How did you get from the regular page to the business page? I could not find that in the new one.
I'll show us in a minute. So I want to go over the layout quick, and I will say too. Yeah. Sorry, I just got thrown off for a second. So let's go over the layout quick, and then we'll go over that aspect of it. So the page looks, again, a lot like it would on a mobile app. The biggest differences that I've noticed personally is that the story section of a page is no longer visible. So if I were to go back to my classic Facebook, just to show us what I'm talking about here, this little story section on the right-hand side where you can write a bit of a longer bio about yourself is gone. So I wonder if that's just a feature that they realized, hey, you know what, people aren't using it as much as we thought they would, or people or consumers aren't clicking on it as much as we thought they would. So when you go to the new Facebook, that feature is gone. The other thing that's a little bit different from a business page, and this is going to be more agent facing before, because we haven't got to the business manager part yet. The left hand side now is where you're going to have all of your ways to manage your page. So that used to be kind of across the top here, or in a smaller sidebar. Now it's just hooked right onto the left side of the page. So you can go to your inbox to view messages here. You can go to, let me go back real quick. You can go to your edit page info, and this button, this very bottom tab, this is where you're going to edit your page info. If you're creating a new business page, it's going to look a lot like this as well for agents. And again, we're going over this in Launchpad and stuff, so your new agents will be able to see this as we go for sure. So notifications, all of the stuff that used to be in sort of different places on the business page is right here on the left. The other thing that's a little bit different is when you boost a post. A bubble still pops up, but it does look a bit different. And I literally discovered this yesterday in a new agent training. So I clicked boost post, and instead of it just being a little bubble that pops up on the screen, it pops up fully here. And if you notice in the upper left hand corner, there's an X, and it says I can press escape. So if I press escape, if I press X, I can still cancel the ad. So it is still technically a pop-up. It's just a full screen sort of pop-up. So if we click boost post, all of the features that were there previously are still here. You know, you've got your ad account. They've just moved that up here. So make sure, you know, we've talked about this before. If you're doing an ad, make sure you switch to the correct ad account. They've got the Learn More button. They've got the Special Ad Category button. Housing, like we always want to do. The thing that looks a little bit different is they've moved your estimated daily results in terms of reach and clicks or views, depending on the ad. They moved that to the right-hand side over here. So it seems it's a little more prominent. It used to be hidden a little bit. It's a bit more prominent over here. Same thing here. I don't know why it defaulted me to $1,000. I did that yesterday too. So you can play with the bar here. You can pick the days. I mean, again, it's the same features. It just looks a little bit different. One thing that I like doing, I was showing agents this yesterday, is if you click see all previews up here, you can see all the different versions of what your ad's going to look like on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Messenger. And 9 times out of 10, they're all going to look relatively similar, right? Because it's the same text and the same photo. But you can see what it's going to look like in the right column on the desktop, in the news feed, on a mobile news feed. This is, to me, the most important, making sure that this particular ad looks great. Instant articles, so this is what appears actually in kind of like a news article. Hopefully you guys can't hear the guys across the street mowing the factory lawn. Instagram, you can hit the Instagram tab, see the same thing. And one thing that they do is they actually make Instagram story ads for your posts, which is really, really cool because Instagram stories is the biggest part of Instagram at the moment. They make ads that will show up in the stories all from your one post. So just a fun little tidbit, you can see that kind of stuff. So that's kind of how the business page layout is different. Now, there are still, when you're looking for your page, there are a couple of ways to do it. Hey, there's one of our agents right there. So if you're trying to get to your page still, so there are a couple of ways. You could have a shortcut saved over here on the left-hand side. So you can see I've got my shortcuts here. If you ever want to add a shortcut to your page, you can click this edit button and add a shortcut. It can be a Facebook group. It can be a business page. You can add basically whatever you want to your shortcut. So when I click on one, I'm going to click on where'd the Holland one just go? Right here. Holland page. And it's going to take me to the similar thing. Now here's the thing though. The whole idea, especially, this is more for our office pages, for our ASCs who help with office pages. The business manager part is still important. So it does look a little bit different now in that I could post to the page from here now. You know, we used to have to go into business manager to do that. It doesn't look like we have to do that anymore, but it still is a best practice to do that. It's still something I want to see us do. So thankfully, their alert still appears right here. Go to Business Manager to manage this page. Oh, and I should have shown you, I apologize. Whether you have the shortcuts on the left-hand side or not, you can always just go up to Search Facebook and search for your business page. So if it's Traverse City, you can type in Coldwell Banker Traverse City and your page will appear. If it's, Streetsboro, you can type in Coldwell Banker Schmidt Streetsboro, the page will appear, and then you can get to exactly where we are from there. And then you'd click the Go to Business Manager to manage this page. And Business Manager hasn't changed yet. It's that thing of I don't know if they will change this particular part of Facebook over. They may not. So that still looks exactly the same when we get back here. So if you don't like the new Facebook layout, just go to the Business Manager part of it, and it's going to look exactly the same. What I personally do for pages, and again, this is more of a preference thing, I have shortcuts to it right up here in my bookmarks, I guess is what they're called. Instead of going to Facebook and searching for it or clicking on my shortcuts and then clicking Business Manager, I just like to go luxury page, and it's going to take me right to the Business Manager luxury page. So this is a little bit different depending on what browser you use. But if you're on Chrome, you can literally click this little icon, I believe it's the little lock right here, and just drag it into your bar here. And I'm not going to do it because you can see I already have one right there. But you just click and drag it, and you can add it anywhere you want to your bookmarks. And then if you want to edit that, so this says Facebook Business, I should probably change it because this is the Holland page. I can right click, I can click edit, and then I can just rename it Holland, or do CBWS Holland. Save, and now it's changed to say CBWS Holland. So that's really the gist of it, guys. Again, the reason why I said we're all in this together, Ginger, if you've got a specific thing, maybe reach out to me afterward, because I don't know what you mean by I don't have that. So you might want to send me some screenshots or something, please. The reason I said we're all in this together is they don't really announce this stuff. They just kind of make these changes, and we roll with the punches. So I'm still learning where certain things are. So if you have a question or your agents are like, hey, where can I find this now? Let me know, and I can dig around and try to find where it is. Or Peter can, of course, dig around and try to find where it is. But we don't have any specific knowledge that anybody else on this call doesn't have. We're just kind of like, all right, this is the new thing now. But again, if you're in the new Facebook, you're playing around and you're like, you know what? I don't really like this. Click on the little downward arrow right up here. Switch to the classic Facebook, and you'll be back exactly where you want to be. So any other questions, guys, about the new layout? It's not bad. It's just different. And I think especially with Facebook and platforms like this, we don't like when things change to be a little bit different. So, well, if there are no other questions, I mean, that's about it. I mean, if you have specific questions about something or something's not showing up for you, let me know. Send me screenshots, because that's one of the best ways that we can help, is to actually see what you are seeing. But I'll also end with this. This layout has not rolled out to everybody yet. So if you're not seeing something, maybe, if you're specifically not seeing the option to switch to the new Facebook, that's okay. Again, with that sort of stuff, there really is no rhyme or reason, that as far as we can tell, of who gets what. If you guys are familiar with Peter Hopkins, the digital marketing specialist who's based out of the Paradise region, there's one specific new business page feature that I have access to on my business pages, and he doesn't. And we don't know why I do and he doesn't. It's just how they roll things out sometimes. So it's okay if certain things aren't quite there yet. So that's it. Thank you guys for your time. If you have any questions, reach out. Anything unrelated to this, always reach out. Otherwise, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see y'all next time.